And now for our feature presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
You're listening to Straight Talk with Dean and Mark. Call in to join the conversation at 646-668-8393.
Welcome to Straight Talk with Dean and Mark. It's the six-man Dean Geronimo in the studio with Mark Lee, and we welcome you to yet another exciting episode of our show. Welcome back. We're back from our commercial break, and it's already June. You know, it's the six-man Dean Geronimo, as always. Just like before the break, from NJ to NC, I'm in the studio with my man Mark Lee. So, Mark, tell me what's good in your neck of the woods, my brother.
Hey, things have been incredibly busy here in Durham, North Carolina. We've had all kinds of things going on. Maybe some people would say we just have too much stuff going on in the Bull City. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he was like, good grief, I can't do it all. I was like, hey, that's the way it is sometimes in the summer. And I didn't even get to do everything I wanted to do. But we had a gentleman that came into town, Lama Raj Owens. He is a Buddhist brother, but he was part of an interfaith discussion that featured our friend who has been on the show before, Reverend Carl Kenny, and some other people that I've just met. And so they were talking about, both what it's like to be a African American in the faith community. That was one of the discussions that they were having, and what that was all about. So they were having that discussion on one level. They were just talking about a lot of stuff that goes on in terms of trying to have dialogue between the different faiths. And, not everybody trying to have that holier than thou attitude. It was really interesting. One of the brothers that I just met was a Muslim brother, and he's actually the chaplain, one of the chaplains over at Duke. And he was talking about the conversation he had with the Catholic sister. And the Catholic sister was basically, I guess having some conflicts with her faith and just wanted to get, find out what her place was in the Catholic Church. Now, there had been some brothers and some people that might have taken that as an opportunity to, weave them back into their faith, but that's not what he thought his job was, and I could actually understand what he was saying. He was like, my job was to try to help her understand how she could work her faith and not necessarily try to convert her to Islam or things of that nature. So, that was really interesting that he was understanding that as a chaplain, and even though he may be of the Muslim background, he's got people that he's working with that are not of the Muslim background. They might be Hindu, they might be Christian, they might be, there might even be some stuff that we don't even know about, like Druids and stuff like that. But his job is to actually talk to them and understand where they are in their life, not necessarily try to bring them into his fold. So I thought that was a really interesting thing that he said. Another thing that he said that I was just really, it was another gentleman, I think he might have been a past Christian minister, but he said it was really interesting was he said, I actually was the one that asked him, I was like, well, how are folks going to bring the youth into the fold with ministry and things of that nature? And his answer was very blunt but very direct. He was like, basically stop lying to them, which meant that if you're going to talk to them about these kind of things, at least talk to them on their level. Don't be trying to, talk to them on some level that they don't understand. So if you're going to talk to them and they're coming out of the 90s and the 2000s, relate to them in their terms. Don't try to bring to them some stuff that they don't necessarily understand. So when he said that, I was like, hey, you got a point there. We got to stop lying to these youth. And that can be said whether we're talking politics, whether we're talking religion, whether we're talking a variety of issues that are out there. So like I said, that's just some of the stuff that was going on. And then Collage had their dance performance, so that was real good. They actually had their, I believe it was their season program, and that was yesterday evening. The discussion was actually on Saturday evening. It was part of a large conference and everything. And then I've just actually picked up my T-shirt because I was supposed to be trying to help lobby because, part of what they do with this thing called the Beaver Pageant, that it's a fundraiser for an environmental group, is they try to get out there and they have judges and they have different people, usually women that are dressing in as the animal, the beaver, but they're dressing in all kinds of different styles. So this year they had one that I think was like a naughty young lady, a teenager. They had another one that was Grace Stick, so she was kind of bringing that whole Jefferson and the rock kind of element to it. They had another one that was claiming to be from Antarctica. But then one of the things you're supposed to do is you're supposed to try to bribe the judges so the show contestant wins. I was representing Molly, who works for the Carolina Theater, and sent out a couple of Facebooks about that and everything. But at the end of the day, I got stuck at work, and didn't make it to either that or Bembe because, that thing called work gets in the way sometimes. So I just have to roll with the money sometimes. And you got to roll with the money. You know how that is.
Yeah, you got to go with the money. If you don't go with the money, then, as they said, cash rules everything around us. And we don't want to be stuck in a situation where we don't have it,
And speaking of cash rule and everything, I got a question for you, Dean, and I'm waiting for our callers because I have talked to a couple of guests and hoping they'll be calling us on this particular evening. But I got a question for you. Here in North Carolina, we had a winner out of Holly Springs, North Carolina, that won one of them Powerballs, and I'm looking it up right now, but I want to say that this particular gentleman won $350 million. So my question for you is that if you win $350 million, are you going to do some good work? Are you going to just run away and disappear, you and your family? But what are you going to do if you give up and you get the $1 million Powerball and it's something like 350, 400 million, whatever amount they want to come up with? And, of course, we know that taxes are going to be in there, too, so you're not going to get all of that money. But I'm thinking out of $350 million, you still going to walk away with a lot of money.
Yeah, you figure, let's say 60% if we're guesstimating. And that's still a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like 10% is what, 35 million? Something like that? I don't know.
Something like that.
But you figure, what, 60%? I'm going to try to calculate that. It's just to see, because they're going to tax the hell out you, They're not going to let you keep all of that. So $350 million, let's say 65%. That's about $227,500,000. So with $227,500,000, I would personally go everywhere where I have a debt and pay it right there and get my receipt. And a couple of them I'll tell what I actually think of them while I'm paying it. And then, man, after that, you know what? I'm going to disappear for a while because I'm going to get on those cruises and go to all those places I want to go.
You're going to disappear, huh?
We'll figure out the rest. Yeah, I'm gonna disappear for a little bit, man, because take a leave of absence from my job because I'm just gonna tell them I'll be back. I don't know when, but I'll be back. Now, I'm not gonna let anybody know. I'm gonna be like, "Where's Waldo, man?" I might call you. I might be in North Carolina. I might be in Cuba. I might be in the. I'm not going to the Dominican Republic right now because they got some things going on over there. But, go back to Belize and check out some more Caribbean islands, Antigua, Trinidad, Tobago, and all those places, man. Why? Because I can. You know what I mean? And just see some more of the world and then come back and figure out what it is that I want to do, even if it's just sit at home and watch TV, update the house, and put a big old movie room in it and just, relax back there. You know what I mean? So I really couldn't say. A lot of people say what they would do, but I know for sure I would pay these bills. And a couple of folks, when I pay those bills, I might get put out.
See, I was going to talk to you about those bills because I just got a bill today or last week that I was not expecting. I've been, like we talked about before, because April was only not that long ago, and that's tax time and all of that stuff. So I got a nice little letter from the North Carolina Department of Revenue, basically like, we're sorry, there have been miscalculations. You owe us money. And I'm sitting there going like, oh great, y'all got miscalculations, so now I owe y'all money. So but I'm gonna do like you said. Whether I do it in an installment or whether I do it one time, I'm gonna go ahead and knock it on out and just have them be done with it because I don't feel like having them breathing down my back.
Right, and some people say, well, when you owe the government, they don't want to hear nothing. But hey, if you call to set up a payment plan and not one of those, I'll pay you this amount of money that's outside of your budget, but I mean, at least you're trying to make an effort to pay, because there's some people who say, you know what, catch me if you can, but then they come in, put liens and all the other stuff, man. Nobody has time for that.
You're absolutely right about that. Now, this is what they said, and this was as recently as June 2nd. So the winner apparently has not come forward, at least not as of a couple of days ago. But it says the winning number in Saturday's drawings were 6, 15, 34, 45, and 52, with a Powerball number of 8. The jackpot can be taken in. So here's to figure out how close you were to your calculation. The jackpot can be taken in a $222.3 million in a lump sum, or received in installments over 29 years. Taxes are taken out in both methods, and the actual amount was $344.6 million. So that's it, $350. So wasn't that? And what people forget is that the store actually gets some benefits out of this too. So apparently it was an IGA, a grocery store that says Carly C's IGA sold the winning ticket, and they are eligible to receive a $50,000 award for the sale.
IGAs are still open?
There are a few IGAs out there in the world.
Wow, I remember those. I remember those growing up in Virginia, man, and that's where you used to take the little and get the little stamps. You know what I mean? I still remember those, but hey, I ain't mad at them.
But it says the winner had not come forward as of Sunday afternoon, and they have 180 days, so basically almost a half a year from the date of the drawing, to travel to the lottery headquarters in Raleigh, North Carolina, to claim the prize. So this is the 5th time a North Carolina winner has claimed a Powerball jackpot, and was the largest jackpot ever won in the state involving a single ticket. So if you're here, you can, if you listen to us and you got the money, we're letting you know that it's out there waiting for you. If you want to shoot off a cut to, Straight Talk for letting you know about this, we're not going to argue with you. Maybe you didn't hear about it. Maybe your friends didn't call you.
Right. Make sure you go before day 181, please. We hate for you to lose out on that money, because that's gotta hurt when you go at the last minute and they say, you know what, we appreciate you coming through, but you're 1 day late. You know what I mean?
We gave you a deadline. You did not make the deadline, so we're sorry. We gave that money to other people, or we put it back in the kitty. So we're just sorry.
We put it back in the kitty, right? And look at all the interest they've been getting on it, because they don't want you to just come right up in there and just get it. So now you have another problem. You know what I mean? Nah, hell no. That might be a little too much.
A little bit too much. And the other thing I was going to ask you, because, you got friends in the military, and I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he just thought that this was crazy. So we had to move a whole ship because of somebody's name on it.
You know what, man? I'm going to shut up. What a punk move, man. I'm sick of this dude, man. What the?
It said the U.S. Navy fleet directly received a request from the White House military office to keep the U.S. John McCain from view during President Donald Trump's visit to Japan last week, acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan said on Sunday. So he actually said that, yes, they had made that request, and basically, we're going to move a whole ship because, he doesn't like McCain, even though McCain probably did a whole lot more for the world than he ever even dreamed about doing. And McCain was a Republican. I'm a Democrat, so I'm not saying I was a up and down McCain person, but I know that he was a lot better than some of these other fools that have come out of that party.
You know what? I might have told him to sit your ass down somewhere. Nobody really trying to hear that shit. You know what I mean? Stop, man. You making yourself look like a real bitch right now. And I'm just being honest. Come on, Doc. Nobody really trying to hear all that. Soft ass bastard. You know what I mean? Punk. Just a punk, man. Always crying. Sit your ass down, man.
Constantly crying. He is constantly crying. We don't know what he means.
It's stop being a bitch, man. You know what I mean? Just stop. It's not becoming of you. You're making yourself look like a real punk.
No, he's making himself look like a baby, which is why the folks over there in London have put out, not once, but for the second time, a baby blimp.
Yeah, stop being soft.